Guangzhou Charge were a top team in both 2019 and 2020, even managing to squeak out a tournament win from Shanghai in the Summer Showdown. I always believed that they were one of the most fun teams to watch, and one of the most dangerous. However, come Season 4 they had a bit of a roster rebuild and quickly became one of the worst teams in the league. What happened? I'll be breaking that down today. The biggest factor in their downfall was a massive roster change made in the 2020 off-season where they lost many star players. While their tank line remained relatively untouched, they lost Happy to the Houston Outlaws, who is obviously insane and great next to Eileen. Show is good but not his level. Mandu over Chara was seen as an initial improvement, but Mandu wound up underperforming after a season on the bench of New York. Then probably their biggest loss was Shu. Even if you didn't follow a pack before, you know how valuable Shu has been to the Los Angeles Gladiators this year. Kariv is good, but nowhere near as good as Shu, especially recently. With all these losses and newbies, it's not surprising that they'd perform worse. Not only that, they had massive coaching issues. They signed Arachne from the Shockers head coach, and Neko and Demon as assistant coaches. Pretty good coaching staff. However, in the middle of the season, every coach left except for Neko. Then, Neko left and the team signed a coach extra that hadn't had any success in Contenders for a whole year. They then signed Sung-woo, who was a fairly safe choice as he had worked with them before. But seeing these shifts, it's easy to see how disorganized and unconfident the team was, and why they only beat Los Angeles, New York and a heavily struggling Guangzhou this season. If Eileen wasn't carrying, the team would barely be willing to take fights. It was a sad state of affairs to watch. I thought that the team had a lot of potential, but many players ended up being washed and the coaching was a huge mess. And in a season where you had to level up massively to be at the top, that was a death sentence. Another reason was the lack of an explosive main tank. Rio isn't bad, he's performed well for Guangzhou over the last 3 years, but in a meta where teams regularly rely on their main tank to make a huge amount of space for the DPS, which was nearly every meta this year, he just didn't cut it. CR0MG is pretty cracked though. Overall, this season had a lot of wasted potential, primarily due to lots of roster changes and downgrades over the off-season and a horrific coaching problem that rivals Guangzhou, leading to them being unconfident and overly passive in games, and relying too heavily on Eileen. Hopefully with Sung-woo back we can get a glimpse of their 2020 selves next season. Thanks for watching and remember to like and subscribe for more. I upload daily Overwatch League and Valorant videos, and am trying to hit 100 subs by Season 5, so any subscription helps greatly. Thanks.